the most addictive drug on earth, is free, and it's being pumped into your brain every time someone likes your photo. We're going to explore the neurological machinery that makes praise feel so good, and then uncover how that same machinery quietly hijacks your ability to make your own decisions. This process is running in the background of your life right now. It's slowly turning your internal compass into a weather vane, spinning with every passing opinion. The craving for approval is one of the oldest programs running in your mind. For our ancestors, social acceptance was the line between life and death. To be praised was to be safe within the tribe. To be ostracized was a death sentence. Your brain evolved to treat social feedback with the utmost seriousness. Neuroscientists discovered just how serious when they put people inside an fMRI machine and had them play a simple video game. In the game, two other players toss a ball back and forth, occasionally tossing it to the participant. Then the other two players stop. They only toss it to each other. The participant is completely ignored. The resulting brain scans are jarring. The part of the brain that lights up, the anterior cingulate cortex, is the same region that processes physical pain. Your brain experiences social rejection with the same alarm bells as a broken bone. It hurts. Literally, this ancient system was designed for the scale of a small, stable village. A world of maybe 150 people, where feedback was infrequent and came from people whose opinions were tied to your survival. Your brain is now trying to run that same software in a world of 8 billion people. It's processing feedback from strangers thousands of miles away, delivered instantly, 24 hours a day. The system is overloaded. It's constantly scanning for threats and rewards in a digital environment it was never built to understand. Think of it like running a complex video game on a computer from 30 years ago. The hardware is screaming, and when the system is pushed so far past its limits, it starts to glitch. It begins confusing the signal for the substance. The glitch starts with dopamine. Every like, every positive comment, every share triggers a small release of this chemical. It's a reward signal. It tells your brain, that was good, do it again, so you do. You post again, you get another hit. This feels great in the short term, but your brain is an adaptation machine. If you keep flooding it with dopamine from the same source, it protects itself. It starts to downregulate your dopamine receptors. Fewer receptors mean you need a bigger hit to feel the same pleasure. One like is longer enough. Now you need 10. Then you need 100. Then you need a viral post. You have entered the classic addiction loop. The validation you once enjoyed is now a currency you need, just to feel normal. This tolerance rewrites your core motivation. Psychologists call it the overjustification effect. It was first documented in a fascinating experiment with children. Researchers identified a group of preschoolers who had a genuine intrinsic love for drawing. They would choose to draw over other activities during their free time. The researchers then split them into groups. One group was told they would receive a special award with a gold star for their drawings. A second group was given the same award as a surprise, after they had finished drawing. A third group received nothing. 2 weeks later, the researchers returned to the classroom with paper and markers. The children who received the surprise award and those who received no award at all drew just as enthusiastically as before. But the first group, the ones who had been conditioned to expect a reward, showed dramatically less interest in drawing. Many of them chose to do something else entirely. The external reward had extinguished their internal fire. The activity became a transaction. The joy became a job. You can see this everywhere. The musician who loved playing in her garage now writes songs she thinks will perform well on streaming platforms. The writer who started a blog to explore his curiosity now obsessively checks his analytics, chasing topics that will get the most clicks. The original love, the intrinsic motivation gets hollowed out. It's replaced by a need for applause. The art is longer the point. The reception of the art is the point. Think about the last time you were about to share something you were proud of. Did you pause? Did you rephrase the caption, choose a different filter, or wait for the optimal time to post? That slight hesitation is the system at work. It's the moment your inner artist turns into your inner market research department. The creation is complete, but the performance is just beginning. This constant self-auditing does more than just poison your hobbies. It starts to dissolve the very person you think you are. But how can a simple like actually change your personality? The mechanism is called self-perception theory. It's a simple but powerful idea. We figure out who we are by observing what we do. You believe you're a generous person because you observe yourself giving to others. You believe you're disciplined because you see yourself going to the gym. Our actions are the data we use to construct our identity. Now, what happens when all of your most visible actions are curated for an audience? What happens when your behavior is constantly being optimized for public approval? You start to believe the performance. You post about your healthy meals and your morning workouts. Over time, you begin to see yourself as a health-conscious person. You share articles about a political cause, and you solidify your identity as an activist. The performance becomes the reality. You are, quite literally, what you pretend to be. You become a method actor who has forgotten they're playing a role. The costume has fused to your skin. After years of performing the part of the successful entrepreneur or the adventurous traveler, you look in the mirror and you see the character. The meticulously crafted avatar. You feel the pressure to maintain that character at all costs. You've built a brand, and now you are its employee. The brand requires constant feeding. It demands new content, new achievements, new proof that the story is still true. Critics of this idea will say this is merely social adaptation. It's how we function in a complex world. We all adjust our behavior for different contexts. That's true. A degree of social awareness is healthy. The danger arrives when the persona you've built for the world is the only version of yourself that you value. When the audience's applause is the only thing that proves you exist, this creates a state psychologists call contingent self-worth. It's a profound instability at the core of your being. Your sense of your own value is entirely dependent on external forces you cannot control. A day with lots of positive feedback feels like a confirmation of your worth. A day with silence or, even worse, criticism feels like a personal failing. You've outsourced your emotional regulation to the whims of strangers, to the vagaries of an algorithm. You ride a volatile roller coaster of highs and lows, all determined by your daily metrics. This gives you the illusion of being connected, but in reality, you've never been more alone. You are trapped inside the prison of your own public relations campaign. The cost of this is staggering, and it's measured in the one currency you can never get back. It is measured in the projects you abandoned, the paths you were too afraid to walk, and the authentic life you were too scared to live. The ultimate price you pay is the complete erosion of your internal locus of control. This is a core psychological concept. It's the degree to which you believe you have control over the outcome of events in your life. Someone with a strong internal locus believes their actions shape their destiny. Someone with an external locus believes life is a matter of luck, fate, or the decisions of powerful others. When you live for external validation, your locus of control slowly but surely migrates outward. You stop being the author of your own life. You become a reactor, a respondent. Life feels like something that happens to you. You're constantly waiting for permission, for a signal from the outside world that you're on the right track. This shows up in your life in concrete ways. It manifests as crippling perfectionism, because any mistake could lead to public disapproval. It creates a deep-seated fear of failure, because failure is longer a private lesson. It's a public verdict. You find yourself unable to make even small decisions without consulting multiple people. You're paralyzed by choice, because every choice is a performance that will be judged. This creates a constant, low-grade hum of anxiety. You're perpetually auditioning for a role in your own life. It's that hollow feeling you get when you're scrolling through your own social media feed. You see the smiling photos, the curated moments of success and happiness. It's a beautiful story, and yet you feel profoundly disconnected from it. You feel like you're watching a highlight reel of a stranger who just happens to look like you. The reason this trap is so effective is because, in the short term, it works. Seeking approval is the path of least resistance. Following the crowd feels safer than forging your own path into the wilderness. The immediate reward of applause feels much better than the quiet, uncertain satisfaction of solitary work. Your brain is wired for survival, and survival often means conforming. It's a survival instinct that has mutated into a psychological prison. So, are we simply trapped? Is this an unbreakable biological loop, a fatal flaw in our wiring? The way out is illuminated by that simple experiment with the children and the magic markers. The key was expectation. The kids who expected a reward stopped drawing. Their motivation became transactional. The kids who got a surprise reward, or no reward at all, kept drawing. Their motivation remained pure. The joy was in the act itself. This is the exit. You break the loop by deliberately engaging in acts of unposted living. You find pursuits where the reward is intrinsic to the activity. You start by doing things you have no intention of ever telling anyone about. Read a dense, difficult book and never mention it. Master a complex recipe and eat it alone. Go to the gym and track your progress in a private journal that no one will ever see. Go for a long walk in nature and take no photos. These are deliberate acts of starving the validation machine. Each time you complete an action without seeking a reward for it, you are recasting a vote for an internal locus of control. You are teaching your brain, slowly and methodically, to find satisfaction in the effort. In the process, you are decoupling the action from the applause. This is not about becoming a hermit. It's about building a solid, unshakable core of self-worth that is yours and yours alone. It's about cultivating a secret garden of pursuits that you do purely for the love of doing them. That is the part of you that can weather any storm of public opinion. The biological trap was built for a village. But you don't live in a village anymore. You live on a global stage with a constant, demanding audience. The only way to find yourself in the noise is to learn how to perform for an audience of one. To find the work that feels like its own reward, the ballot box of your identity is open. It has been open this whole time. The only votes that truly matter are the ones you cast in private. And this same search for intrinsic reward explains why the most common productivity advice almost always backfires, which is an entirely different kind of trap.